Well folks, welcome to another nondescript hotel somewhere in Europe. This time I'm en route in Copenhagen, of all places. Some people have asked me about starting their own YouTube channel. We're kind of 6 months in on the backroadhero. I wanted to share with you the experience that I have had so far. And if you're interested in getting started in content creation, I'll share some tips on how to go about it. It's not the only way, it's just the way I've done things so far. And it's worked out well so far. So let's get started. Some people have got inspired already to start their own automotive YouTube channels. You've got to think about it as a global brand, essentially, with all social media. You don't want conflict with any other names and ats and all the rest of it. So that's going to take you a while. You might want to start up a website associated with that. So you will need your URL, your web address. And from that, you can put together your email address. So with that email address, you can start a YouTube channel. I started a previous channel called E46 Racer. It's still going, and that was basically to chart the build and the racing of my E46 race car. If you want to see some of my early presentation skills or that lack thereof, feel free to go and check that out. It's on the backroadhero description of the channel. You can have a look at that, or maybe a little link up above here will suffice. So if you excuse the embarrassment on my part, you'll start to see a pattern, because early on, let's face it guys, you're fairly crap at presentation. Projection, thought process, trying to think and speak at the same time is sometimes quite difficult. So there's where a little book, some bullet points, slightly off camera, so that we can get through this. So let's get started. You've got to think as a global brand. Okay, you're going to start small, but eventually you're projecting and crossing the globe with all of this. I found on my channel specifically, it's UK, America, and Australia are the top hits for countries there. So be aware when you're discussing costs that it's got to be transportable globally, because that's essentially where your audience is, or you can just keep it generic when you talk about things. So firstly, doesn't have to be about cars. I'm an airline pilot. I am a captain, have been for many years for a global airline, should we say. I'm based out of London Heathrow, but my passion is cars. What better to start a channel than on cars? My son, Max, said to me a few years ago that he saw being a YouTuber as a viable career. And I thought about that for a while. It was never on my radar, but I'm not of that generation. So is it possible? So I thought I'd start a channel myself. But you have to have a passion. You have to be able to say something that people want to listen to. You need a unique selling point, a USP, as they say. When you're creating a name, you don't want to be too specific. I'm thinking of particular brands, especially automotive brands in my case, and hence backroadhero. It's a bit generic. I can go many ways, but it suggests an experience. It suggests travel, enjoyment of the back roads in various cars. I searched long and hard to see that it wasn't taken on a number of platforms, and then I was able to get the web addresses, backroadhero.com, backroadhero.co.uk, and this is before you even get going. After you've done that, you've picked your name, you've got your URLs, you've got your email address, so you can sign up to all the social medias. Then you got to think about logos and branding. You got to think about something that nobody else has. It's not copyright. You're not stealing effectively an idea off someone else and trying to pass it on. So you've done all of that. Then you need your equipment. So we'll hop across the iPhone and I'll show you what equipment I essentially use. So this is basically my kit. It's a little DJI Osmo Pocket. It's a little, effectively the same camera, 4K camera that is on the Mavics, the drones. So that's essentially it. You'll see I've got plugged in here. If I spin it around, I have got Saramonic. It's a Blink 500, and teamed up with the other half of it, effectively a lav mic or lavalier mic, and that is the remote microphone. Just means I can wander around, and this is all trackable. So it's got a face track feature. If I can click that, there it is, face track on, and then it will basically just follow me around the room. Not the cheapest thing in the world, but at the end of the day, it doesn't work that well in cars though, because it gets really confused. So there you go, there it's tracking me all around. Combine that with just a normal sort of GoPro tripod, and you've got a self-contained studio. For the other stuff that I use in the car, I just use a GoPro. Anything from a Hero 4 upwards works really well with the stabilization. So there you go, a simple camera, a simple microphone, and it's nice to have it wireless and remote. It means I can walk around. The little camera tracks me as I go, obviously focusing, etc., and it makes it look as if I've got a kind of a camera crew here. That's the nice thing about the little tracking bit. I can set it up on a stand in front of a car, and I can talk at my leisure, if it doesn't make you sick when it's all moving around on a big TV. If you're going to shoot in 4K, which I don't actually do, it takes an awful lot of memory, it takes an awful lot of processing. 1080p is good enough for most TVs, and for uploading, etc. I use a Dell computer. I use an editing software called DaVinci Resolve. It's free and it's absolutely fantastic. Takes you a little while to get your head around it. I was brand new to editing, but with persistence and some great tutorial videos off YouTube, then you're able to put together something. You've got background music, you can dip the music when you're speaking, you can do J cuts, L cuts, learn about editing. That was a big learning curve for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's what it's all about. You have to enjoy the experience. If you don't enjoy all stages of that, then don't bother. It's a long game, and it'll do your head in, as they say back home in Northern Ireland. So there you go. So once you've got your kit together, it's not inexpensive. There is a bit of an investment, especially for the good stuff. I love the little Osmo Pocket, but it's several hundreds of pounds. But I had this before I started the YouTube channel. Fits in a pocket. You can take it away and get some stunning gyro stabilized shots, even slow-mos, and all the rest of it. So it was a big thing for me. I have SLR cameras as well, but by the time you carry it all around, put it all up, and it looks really obvious that you're filming this way with the little Osmo. It's really simple. So that's another thing. You've got to get your little intro thing sorted. You've got to be able to do kind of montages, as they call it, put things together, move the video along, and keep it interesting for people. Because if you just sit and drabble on, like I'm currently doing, they'll switch off. So when I'm putting something together, I write a few bullet points down. Nice to follow a bit of a script. This is the main thing that helps me stop saying ah. I've probably said it a lot right now, but I'm really trying not to. That comes the presentation skills, but with the bullet points, I can put together a story, what I want to say. If you want a 10-minute video, shoot 20 minutes and edit it down in the software suite. Plenty of B-roll. They reckon B-roll is a 4:1 to make it interesting. Less so when I'm just doing a chat to camera. However, for the other videos out there, that's what I try to do. My early stuff got criticized because it was just me standing in front of a car. And when you look at any other TV program, you'll see that quite often the presenter is only on the video for about 25% of the time. You've got to think about how you're going to shoot the video. Camera placement, what are you going to do and how are you going to do it? It's a triangle, it's a trifecta approach. You've got your title, you've got your thumbnail, and you've got your content. And there's plenty of other videos out there explaining how the three are equally important on YouTube. Thumbnail for clicking, raising a question, and starting a thought process. Enough for someone to click on your video and find out the answer. And that's where the content comes in. Ask a question and resolve it in your content. You've got to think about how you're going to shoot your intro and your outro as well. Some people do that first, and then the rest is kind of padding. It's getting from one side to the other. Keep it moving forward, avoid repetition, and keep it light-hearted. This is entertainment after all. Nobody wants to see somebody with a monotone voice spouting on about something that's not particularly interesting. Right, speak clearly, put on your best telephone voice. You've got to make people want to watch it, and you've got to come to a conclusion and then summarize at the very end. Have you covered all the points? Have you thought about your graphic to add in little bullet points? Have you thought about maybe what cards you're going to put on above here for people to click on? Previous videos? Have you thought about the end card? What's following on from this? Are you leading from one video to the next, through this to another one? You've got to mention both, what came previously and what's happening next. Tell a story. If people want to find out what's going to happen next, then they're more likely to subscribe so they can find you easier in the channel. There are various thoughts about uploading, how many times to do it, when to do it. There's no hard and fast rule, to be honest. In the early days, don't store up your videos, just get them out there. It's difficult enough, you'll be really slow at editing and it'll do your head in. I think the first video I put out was 40 minutes. It took me about 4 days to edit on the Alfa Romeo Giulia review. It was a good one to start with because it got noticed. There wasn't that much material on it. But I should really, instead of 40 minutes, I should have edited that into 4 episodes of 10 minutes each. Made sure that I'd written all in the description so that people can click through and see what it's all about. That moves us on to the YouTube algorithm. You're not going to get many views early on. There you go, I've said it. It takes a while for the algorithm to understand what your channel is all about. And I would suggest getting your first 20 videos out there. Sounds a lot, but to be honest, 20 videos of 10 minutes apiece, just in general stuff, keeping to the same topic. I made the mistake of jumping around a little bit. I was doing museum tours, places I would go down route. I was doing days out flying, and I've left them in the channel, but it often confuses things. And you'll see, and I'll show a little graphic here, you'll hit on one video that will gain traction. Now, mine was a little bit controversial. It was all about buying the L322 Range Rover. And after buying that car, shortly afterwards, it developed a number of faults. They were going to cost about £1,500, about $2,000 to put right. And having bought the car so soon, we decided we were going to have to send it back to the dealer. And what you don't see on those videos is the fact that we had to remind them of the Consumer Rights Act 2015 and our right to return the vehicle should it not be repaired. That sparked off a whole load of pluses and minuses, but a little bit of controversy, put it through 10,000 views in a week. That was unheard of on my channel at that point. I was getting a few hundred views on the videos, so that gave me the traction, and it was just one video. I've got a lot of nice cars. This is a 10-year-old Range Rover, but that's the content that people wanted to see. And I've subsequently shot another 4 videos on the Range Rover, and again, there's the playlist upstairs if you want to follow the journey of that all the way through. And then into the future, each of the cars has a playlist. And that's something I decided to do because various people are not interested in other brands outside of what they're trying to research themselves, maybe buying a new car, a specific new car. But essentially that helped a few people along the way into buying. And my latest video is a generic one about buying a used car, the checks to do, the pre-checks, the walk around, the negotiation, and what happens when it goes wrong. And that all came from that particular series of videos. So you just never know what's going to work on the channel and what's going to initially get you interested and get you monetized. So let's talk about how the YouTube system actually works. When you start the channel initially and haven't got many subscribers, then it's a good idea to feed traffic in from other areas. It might be through your friends, it might be through social media. And I found a good source for that was if it was something specific, a bit like the Range Rover, join a Facebook group, put a link to your new video in that, and that immediately will give you 2,000-3,000, maybe more eyes on that, and people might click through and see what you're up to. 30 days and 100 subscribers, believe you me, that's quite difficult to achieve in the early days without your friends helping you out. You can get a unique URL. What happens initially is you get a YouTube channel and it's all gobbledygook. It's XYZ, 3ABC, question mark, whatever it happens to be. And then you can now get a unique URL. For my channel, it's backroadhero TV. Then you're looking at 500 subscribers. And then you can post on the YouTube community, and anyone that subscribes to you will see a photograph and a little bit of a description. And I use it nowadays for promoting the latest video. What I do is I upload it and I then schedule it for 6 p.m. on a Friday afternoon because it gets the initial weekend traffic. And what I try to do is post once a week, hence making the likes of these videos in a hotel room when I don't have access to the cars. After the 500 comes the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. This is the big one. This enables you to apply to the YouTube affiliate program and get paid. There are various other requirements like no strikes against you, no open cases, etc., etc. And then after that, you can choose to monetize your entire back catalogue and anything that you post in the future. You haven't got paid up till this point for any of the advertising that YouTube have placed randomly on your videos, but now you do. And it makes sense just to monetize the whole lot. YouTube are very good at putting things together. When someone clicks on your video, there is a split-second auction and various videos are placed there. If the channel knows what you're about, then it can place advertising your way specifically to that channel and content. Once you get to 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours, you apply. In my case, it took about a week to come through. It was all approved, and now you are a bona fide YouTuber. Then it's all about just keeping content going, interacting, making sure that you respond to posts and queries and questions on your channel. They've taken the time to watch your content. They have commented, whether it be positive or negative, and that's the final point I'm going to get to. A couple of my videos have been fairly controversial. I upset a few people, mostly people in the used car business. I used to be a motor trader, used to sell used cars, so I'm uniquely positioned in the fact that I know how difficult it is to sell cars. But I'm also a customer, and as such, I have rights. I have rights that when I spend my hard-earned money, I expect to get a decent car that is usable. So I've made a series of videos on that, but as a result of that, you get the keyboard warriors, you get the trolls, you get the used car salesmen. How dare I tell the public about their legal rights to return a car? A lot of people don't know that they can do it, certainly within 30 days with very, very little comeback to get their money back. There are two schools of thought on trolls. Did you know you can just ghost them from your channel? Bye-bye. You hit the button on your creator studio and questions, and you basically just block them from ever commenting on your channel. It seems rather severe, but there are various filters that YouTube will then hold the comments back. You can have a little read at that, and that's one of the buttons that you push when you upload a video. You say you want to hold comments or hold some comments that they think might be offensive. I'm a thick-skinned Irishman, but I'm also a person. And when someone complains directly, calls me names, calls me slimy, how dare I, blah, 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 it's very easy for someone to put something in a keyboard when you're just trying to be yourself. You're trying to genuinely help others, but they take offense to that. That's quite difficult. That's probably been the most difficult part of all this for me. It hasn't been shooting the videos, it hasn't been the editing, it hasn't been the coming up with ideas. It's been the barrage of insults, I suppose, to myself. For that 1% of idiots out there, there's the 99% of genuine, lovely people that have been spurring me on. So to that end, I shall finish on a positive note. We have about 2,500 subscribers. We are 6 months down the line. I'm expecting my first paycheck from YouTube of about £140 for February 2022. So there you go. It can be done if it gives you inspiration to go out and do it yourself. If I can help you along that path to take that first step or help you out in whatever way, I'm still fairly new at this, but if I know the answer or if I can put you in the right direction, then I'm very, very willing to do that. I've taught people to fly. I've mentored them as they've gone through their flying progress and their courses. I'm naturally built to kind of help others along their path to success in whatever it is they do. So please, please add to the YouTube world, become a content creator, enjoy the experience, discount the bad stuff, hang on to the good stuff, but be open-minded, enjoy the experience, folks. It's a new world. I'm in my 50s, I've done it, and you can too. All the best now, bye-bye.